Hello everyone, welcome back to Dysfunctional Systems Learning to Manage Chaos. Let's go ahead with the game. I need to do something. Right. I should do something. The doctor, nurse, whatever she was yesterday told me to make sure that Winter ate breakfast and drank liquids. I'm not living up to that responsibility. It's already past 12 and she's still sleeping. Then I should wake her up, right? I don't know. First off, that's really weird. I hardly know her. Secondly, just watching her in bed feels... sketchy. She's curled up in there, looking uncomfortable. I just can't. Frankly, it's cute. Frankly, just having that opinion makes me feel scummy. Whatever, it's probably best if she wakes on her own. Then again, she's been shivering. She could have a fever. I glance over at her from my desk. Man, I have to check. What is this, 14 hours rest? I set my book face down with care and rise, tiptoeing over to her bedside. She's so small and pathetic, really. She reminds me of this one kid we had back home, a runt. It feels like anything that happens to her is too much. She shivers again and I have some ideas to warm her up that would likely make our relationship even more awkward. Well, I need to at least touch her forehead and make sure she's alright. Or it's not, I guess. It's actually a bit cool. She sweat out a lot during the night, looks like. So I imagine any fever she's had is gone now. I pull back my hand. While she's readjusting, I retreat to my desk and pretend to be reading. I hear her sit up, and I flinch a bit in spite of myself. In the morning. It's... really? I look over my shoulder to find her rubbing her face and turning to the window. She grumbles and puts a palm over one of her eyes. How are you feeling? Not much. I mean, I don't feel much of anything. Could be because of... the medicine. She nods just a little. You seem better. I guess. She abruptly flops down onto her mattress after a small silence. I turn back to face my book. It's actually past noon, by the way. I figured... you'll have to sell for lunch instead of breakfast. I consider apologizing, but restrain myself. I wonder if she even wants to eat. I'm guessing no if that doctor was so insistent that she do so. Are you going back to sleep? I look over my shoulder again. Winter? Out like a light. Great, I'll have to steal myself later and just shake her awake, I guess. I get back to the novel in my hand. Oh, this is getting intense. I got this book from the World's Library. It's called a crime romance novel, or whatever. It's, not strange to be interested in weird literature, is it? I don't think so, at least. I mean, come on. It's perfectly normal to be interested in unusual things. You just can't read this sort of thing from any earthen source. Nothing this terrible exists. Great, just now? I'm starting to enjoy this. I close the book and put it down, though I don't get up to answer the door. If it's someone important, like the doctor, then she'll say in something. Anyone else would either ferry for only a little bit, or keep knocking until they answered. Oh man, what is this? I've got a feeling. I sigh, I stand from my chair, and I stretch a bit. Only then do I step over and open the door. V, you've got your nose in some body work scan. Bring you some pornography again? Answer the door quick, yeah? This is the worst possible visitor. It's like the brightest stars descend right here in the hallway. She's all smiles. I don't need this right now. I don't read pornography, Irie. Cackle. I don't want to hear your vile accent right now. She puts on a pretend expression of hurt. Oh, you'll insult me at the door? Won't even bloody well invite me in? That's the kind of behavior befitting lesser people, V, not you. I stare at her. And V, you gotta be honest. I know you delay in entertaining guests or thine own fancy, but you got to admit it to one day. Huh? Admit to it? To what? V, listen. She grabs my shoulders and looks me in the eyes through her ridiculous transparent colored shades. Listen to me. If you're not honest, you'll rot. Rot? Yeah, rot. Hard T. Says Winnie. She could at least remove her hands from my person before she asks for another. Came to see Winter? Her grin returns in its full, obnoxious glory. Yeah, I heard she fucked up massively. I wish I'd been there to see it. Her face flushed with tears. You want to make fun of her? She laughs again, shaking me a bit. You're killing me here, V. V, sweet V. Cass hath made its fun at her already. What more could I do? She nuked an entire system, man. How'd you even do that? Ugh. Can't you even for a second attempt to resemble a decent human being? V, it's just that I'm not here to make fun. I just want to see her. Mayhaps give her gaunt little cheeks a poke or two. She's not gaunt. Her smile vanishes. Hey, you're right, V. Her thighs. Her smile returns. What did she do to Phil's thighs, V? Had she let you give him a squeeze yet? Yeah. She's a mess of a girl. Arlene looks like a girl with those legs. Who get ready to wear those stockings of hers? Goodness. You sound like a lesbian. V, I'm just admiring another beautiful woman. As a beautiful woman myself, nothing lazy about that. Her lips twist a little, and she looks right into my eyes. Tell me, who here would think of another girl with lustful eyes? Who's a man, Waverly? But I digress. Winnie could stand to be much more beautiful, yeah, right? Get your bloody hands off me already! She does so. So, can I come in now? No. Why not or not? You're a bastard, Irie. Oi. She points at me. Let's be a bit more subtle here, right? Let's keep it fun. Fun, she says. And hey, I should be allowed in. Winnie's my best friend. She is not. By what authority dost thou make such bold claims? My common sense, you clod! She giggles. Yeah. Girl, did not even begin to talk mess about my Northwesterner's voice. It's like listening to a breeze. And you're like listening to a cat being drawn and quartered. Oh. Shit, why'd I mention that? I reflexively cover my mouth, as if I can grab what I just said before it can reach her ears and swallow it back. Here's perk up, she blinks. Drawn and quartered, what's that? I refuse to answer. Is that kind of torture? I watch in repulsion as she quietly lifts her thumb to her mouth and gently bites the nail. Nibbling, she sways the rest of her hand in slow motion. She gives me the slyest smile. Been reading some interesting stuff from the libraries, eh? All the ways. What's the book? Got it. Tease, I'll find it, I faith. She leans in the door, smirking. She crosses her arms and visibly relaxes. Okay, love, I want you to know what I'm loving this, and I love it dearly, I faith. But I don't want to see Winnie. Mercy, this girl's persistent. Didn't I say no? Then, can you tell her that I feel bad for her? Do I look like the type to spread lies? Tell her I want to see her. What for? As I told you to. No, I mean, why do you want to see her? She shrugs. Because it spills like that what built Character V, and I'm a scholar for character study. Grin again, she adds. Though I admit I was interested in her before because she's like a little animal, and don't you want to grab such things up and just eat them? You're coming in too strong, it's suffocating. Me? Me. She stares at me, her hands over her chest in mock disbelief. Eventually she starts to smile. Cackle, I wish you would just go away. She drops her hand. It's too bad for me, you're such a powerful gatekeeper. I can't even catch a glimpse of the grey little one from here. Guess I'll be seeing you then, V. Let's hope not. I think a teacher is gonna come around to this room a bit later. Which? I would tell you if I knew it, lovely. Good luck and peace. She finally departs. Right. I return to my desk in foul mood. I don't even want to pick this book back up. Wait, really? Who was that just now? I put my arms up on my desk and slouch, resting my cheek in my hand. Irie. Irie? Yeah. She want to talk to me? Well, no, probably not. She did want to see you, though. She wanted to... I pause. Well, we all know Irie by now, don't we? I hear some kind of ragged, pulsing breath, which I take for Winter's laugh. We do. She's a character. I flip my book back open and begin once more from where I left off. I don't want to bother having her around. I don't want to bother hearing her around. The noise from before repeats with something of a greater intensity, leading to coughing. I sigh. I'm sorry, Winter. I'm too amusing for sick people, I guess. You're ridiculous. I'm too wonderful, amazing, astounding. It's not that. I should have chosen to go to comedy school. You get laughed off the stage in a bad way. You laugh at my jokes and go on to say that? I shouldn't bother helping you out anymore. More ridiculousness. No, I command you. Command me? Command you to open the windows. It's hot. Winter, it's the middle of winter. I do suppose the thermostat's rather high. I start getting up. And there's my smoldering attractiveness to consider. So stifling. Winter laughs again as I go to complete her task. There's something special to be said about people who cause laughter with intent to breed suffering. Oh, what's that? I open the first window. Wait, let me try to be clever. Opening the second, I begin to return to my seat. It's better to be clever when you're quick on the take, Winter. Oh, yes, I was certain I had something there. Have you ever gotten the feeling that there's something smart to be said, if only you could figure out what it was? That's what happened. I sit down, looking over at her. How slow are you? I feel like chilled molasses, except warm. Very slow. By the way, a teacher should be coming around. Which? If I knew that, I'd tell you, lovely. I should stop that. I would regret saying it once. Can hardly believe she comes from the same continent as I do. The Sunlands are huge, you'd best believe it. Plus, I'm pretty sure she's somewhat southwestern with a name like that. Do you all sound the same in the Northwest? Yes, Winter, all 70 million of us talk exactly like me. Sorry, it's just a lot smaller. I smile. Well, honestly, the regional differences are nothing compared to differences between the Westerners here and you middle folk. At least our worst dialect is still understandable. Understandable? I can understand Ari just fine, actually. I let out an exaggerated groan. Please, I don't need any more talk like that in my life. I just can't understand it, that's all. I didn't say that I'd reproduce it. I laugh a bit. She seems to have gotten more energetic, even though she is still lying in bed. It's good we're friendly, even if I do hesitate to take care of her. Having a poor roommate sounds like the worst. Winter Harrison's place? Coming. As I get up, I smile at Winter. But I know who it is. I don't know all their voices yet. He gets our combat instructor. Souther isn't ancient in Winter. Sounds more like Henry. She pulls the covers up over her face a bit. A small show of embarrassment. Adorable, but enough dallying. Hello, Mr. Pan. I was right.
Good day, Waverly. How are you?
Fine, sir.
Oh, Waverly's here.
Isn't that...
Waverly, it's been weeks since I last saw you. A better few weeks, so you've been fine, huh?
Yes, sir. My first mentor. What's he doing here with Henry? You know, seeing them side by side, they really dress alike. Very stylish and very sharp.
You mentored this child? Can you believe it? They give me the simplest jobs only because I'm so young. There are plenty of reasons for it, Walter. Plenty of bullshit? That measure's better than... What was it we did, Waverly?
I totally forgot. It's so boring. The first mediations are apparently always supposed to be really easy, and unfortunately very tame. Long-term, low danger. I think it had something to do with Earth, like moving dirt. It was incredibly stupid. I think it was construction issues.
I stand corrected. There's nothing that can top that, Henry. Playing the mud, right? That's totally pinnacle.
Don't be a smartass, Walter.
Walter's one of the more bizarre things I've encountered since becoming a mediator.
And he's from Earth. I can't actually peg him down at all. He's the only thing I can clearly remember about my first mediation.
I know. Anyway, we didn't come here to pester my protege, Winter Harrison, right? That's right. She in Waverly?
Yeah, but...
Don't worry. You don't need to go get her. I just want you to relay some things.
Harrison.
Was that Cyrus's girl?
Yes, from the
dead world.
You're here for the girl who went through that?
Yes.
Walter puts on a strange, somewhat negative expression, and places a hand on his hip. Pursing lips, he looks at me, and then past me into the room. I just kind of avoid his eyes.
I don't know what Cyrus was doing, his report was nonsense. Walter. Nonsense, Henry. His explanation of what went down, it's horse shit. I don't want to hear it. How did he manage to fuck things up so massively? There were simple checks to go through. I know he's all about just getting it over with, but they were children's mistakes, and he ruined the child for them. I'm going to need to talk to him later. Will you come? He doesn't listen to anything I say. If they don't persist with numbskulls, they never will. Even though he's a top-tier mediator, I don't think I've ever heard any other mediators go along without talking mess about Cyrus. I'm a little pissed off with him, too, not that I know entirely what went down. The death of an entire world. I wonder what they'll say about it when we next have class. I wonder how many other students know about it. There's so many worlds, though. So many planes. Maybe they won't bother. What's one more lost? I don't know what I'm thinking. While I'm musing over my cruelly dismissive thoughts, a white square of paper moves into my eyesight. Looking up, I see that it's a letter being held by Henry. Give this to Mr. Saracen, would you? I take it. On the front reads, for whenever it's too much to bear, read this. Henry Penn. Tell her to expect a meeting with me later as well. I nod. Glancing briefly inside, Henry bends to my ear and speaks in a whisper. Presently, I won't offer my condolences or words for her, as it would be rude of me to assume her state. I prefer to talk to her directly, you see. He puts a hand on my shoulder. If this has affected you, it very likely might have. You know where my office is. He straightens up and looks at his watch. I rotate my shoulder a little. It's winter, right? I nod. Yes. Make sure Winter thinks about what happened. Everything that happened. This isn't something to run away from. I nod slowly. The same goes for you, Mr. Sire. He pokes my nose at the tip, and I wiggle in irritation. What is with these men and touching? Walter smirks at me. Weirdo. Let's get going, Walter. Alright. Henry nods with his departure. Walter smiles and waves. I close the door. I stretch out again and look at Penn's letter. Who was it? My first mentor and... I look over at her. And Henry. He wrote you a letter. I draw attention to said letter by raising the bit and flapping it lightly. Your first mentor? Walter Len... something Western. Moving to her bedside, I hand her the letter. I don't think you should read it yet. Winter looks it over and gives it a light shake. She frowns. Me neither. I hesitantly allow myself a smile. That's good, right? It's for when things become too much to bear. I wiggle my fingers with joking emphasis. Yeah. Resting the letter on her bed, she goes quiet. You need to eat, girl. She grimaces at me. Do I really? Yes. Come on. I reach down and she grudgingly extends her arms, embracing me around the back of my neck. I perk her up in my arms. What is this? I don't want to walk. You need to walk. I only picked you up since you didn't put your feet to the floor when I moved in. I'm just really lethargic. I don't want to move around at all. I have this wicked cough. You can just stand, can't ya? I'm not kidding. At least just to the door. That's...
Embarrassing. It's totally embarrassing. I don't want to be seen to like this. Please, Waverly? Cackle, no. You've been lying in bed long enough. Down you go. I begin to lower her, and she moans and complains. Man, this girl's too light. Feels like I'm barely holding anything. After whining a bit more, she relinquishes and carefully stands. I help her to the door and pause to let her stretch her legs a little. Are you good? She's quivering and everything. I think I'm fine. Let's get going. Come on. I'll hold on to you at least. Thanks. I need that, I think.